wrong year yet. So far. Luckily, I got a Quicken thing that puts the date in itself. I got a weird thing on here. When I get, no matter what I do, my face is fogged. What if I hit something somewhere to do that on purpose?
Oh, yeah, looks like it on here too.
Now, this is my own camera that's doing this?
Yeah, so there might be something on the lines.
The one that had it, I didn't have that information, that's why I got anniversary EV structure needs to share in the net revenue, percentage to be negotiated. And then we just line across the town legal fees to review the same. I just got the cycles and,
Seem to see, remember something? What kind of thing?
there's some tax on these things.
At least. Is it not a vantage to Was it not a vantage?
No, we're gonna do something. Say, because no, she's not sure too.
Let me look when I get home. Let's see if there's a, thing I've done that, just do that on purpose, because it follows me no matter where I go. The rest is clear, just my face.
What,
He's got a, his,
the camera?
yeah, well, it's.
My face is got a little cloud around it, and no matter how I move, it's gone. It's-
Valid meeting ID.
See it? No matter where I go.
Yay. You don't know what's right there.
Okay, what,
Right.
really,
I think it's probably smart on the camera, that's what it looks like.
Well, then everything would be better than.
Well, wait till other people also.
Hello, hello, hello. Do I have a smudge? Do I have a smudge? Hello?
Somebody get the net.
What is this?
Good evening.
I expect we're gonna hear from people. Yeah. Bill, how did you get on the Zoom? I keep getting invalid ID from the
Yeah,
website.
I've been doing that all night.
So how'd you get on?
Did you hit the little, do you
The
want?
little TV,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's
and
happening.
it starts, says, do
I
you want
have
to
to-
open Zoom? I say yes, and then it
There's
says,
one that says something about a different kind of Zoom.
it starts to load an invalid meeting ID.
Log in from the website.
I'm on the website and I'm clicking media for today.
Well, Bill and I were just able to get so.
It doesn't like you, Sarah. You were rude to it.
Well, my,
You were mean. You didn't share your cookies.
on one of those, you can get out of it, it says something about a Zoom upgrade of some kind. And I downloaded that, and it didn't help, but all of a sudden it's working, so. I don't know.
Have you tried closing your browser and reopening?
I just.
Oh, I just refreshed the webpage.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's what they'll have to do.
The town website is not ideal. This is the first time that, this last thing that Kathy sent out that needed signatures, it's the first
You
time
think it doesn't like me? It just doesn't like you.
I clicked on it. This is the first time it ever actually opened and let me sign.
That's because we've actually figured out why that was happening.
Oh, really? Cause it hates me.
No, it actually has to do with on our end, because once we send you both that link.
Yeah,
And Sarah looks at it, for instance. And usually gets back to us pretty quick, but then we realize that there's something we have to change on it.
oh,
And once we take it down, the link that we sent to you is
oh,
now broken.
it doesn't work anymore.
doesn't work.
That's why.
So we have to we now know to wait until you've both looked at it,
Right,
until we take it down.
right.
And that's, that was something that we discovered that.
What link are we talking about?
The preview of the agenda.
Agenda,
Oh,
when we send it out for approval.
Yeah. I don't live on my email. I have 5 emails. So I don't live on my email. I know. I'm 3 of them at the library.
I am 7.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can spend your whole life on there if you don't limit the number of
Even
times you
James.
check it in a day.
did you get the picture I sent you?
Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry, I didn't get it right away, cause for some reason it went to spam. I don't know.
Oh, if you can,
But,
you.
yeah,
you
it's really
can,
pretty.
You can. Fix it.
Drop it.
Drop, thank you.
Thank you.
There's a,
Yeah, I showed it to them.
someone else took a photo of this bridge and it was on Facebook and I thought it was.
Oh, really?
These questions, these answers to all the questions I asked.
Ron Benfeld
Yeah,
the other day, December's
Oh,
third week.
Yeah,
yeah, I responded,
There.
this is where people are gonna ask because it's what I wanna know. What's
Three
it
other
gonna
people
cost
there
me?
waiting
Who's
on
gonna?
Yeah, it's funny, trying to do that.
I had my car, but I don't have my pass in.
there's a number you can dial.
Oh, at the gate? No, I didn't know that. I thought it was all key card,
It is, well,
same as the door code.
no,
It's fine. I only take my truck up there usually anyway. But I have to pay, so that's why I went.
oh, I can take the trip now.
I had it, I forgot that when I saw your face is what reminded me. Roll the next one.
You got until March, we'll catch you off.
Are you serious? These things cost $200,000 each?
The fast chargers.
It's like a big battery pack. 'Cause
For
it's super high.
200,000? Up to $250,000
Well,
for,
but think about what a good lightning charger for your phone costs, $80. And it's teeny tiny.
this is, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't take an electric car if they gave it to me for free.
I've had one for 10 years,
You know.
12 years, I love them, it's great, it's
It
fantastic.
You have a fully electric?
I have a fully electric car,
has no backup at all, anything other than batteries.
battery,
Oh, wow.
and it's fantastic, and it's great, and it's so easy, and
Yeah.
we never use the.
No, I have friends that's why they have these Teslas and they're.
Oh, I was Tesla, but-
Yeah, they've had them forever and it's like,
Yeah, they're great,
it's not for me yet.
and I can go faster than you can go 0 to 60 and like.
Wow.
Because
So
there's
what
no
brand do you
memory.
have? The Nissan. Is it?
Ask you a question.
And it's great.
How long has it
And
been?
sort of open-ended question.
As electro?
So we didn't buy it, well, this is the second one, we didn't buy it the first couple of years, cause I said, let's let them, you know.
Yeah, work the bugs out.
Right, work the bugs out. So they've had it around for at least 15 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Fully
yeah.
electric?
Fully
I didn't
electric.
think they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
It was Randy with.
Nissan,
Nissan.
and it's
I mean.
great.
So would you just install a charger at your house?
Yeah. In fellowship and
In a wall outlet?
In town. So you can see
Oh.
most of the traffic.
There's a guy down on, what's the, road that goes up to the pine forest there,
And emphatically.
Fine.
off of Churchill Street.
Oh,
Willow Lane.
Willow
Well,
Lane.
man, there's a guy, couple houses up there that he brings a cord out, hangs it off a lead trunk for a lead.
Well, some of them you have to install a special outlet on your house because it doesn't take a regular plug-in.
Right.
I don't
That's
know.
it. I didn't know they had one plugged into a house.
We could have paid $5,000 and gotten some special thing,
Uh,
but, you know, it was like, well, just plug it into your, I mean, as long as you don't wanna drive every say 150 miles.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
So the expensive one is the quicker charge.
yeah.
Sure.
right, ours would take
People that have to deal with.
10 hours.
Well, I know someone that
Can we
has,
go to sleep?
yeah, I know someone that has one that costs you $450 to hook up the electric plug-in on the outside of her house.
She might have gotten ripped off.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a plug-in, something like this.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's this big,
plugs into,
it's this big.
plugs into that. It's like the easiest thing in the world.
No, but I.
And no change for our electric bill.
Alright, you might as well get going. Alright, call it in order, 6:01, please, as you're able, and I'm gonna keep questions. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty.
Shoot, clear this stuff up. I just hand them, so if you didn't.
No, well, that's not. You tell them what I want you to do, but it doesn't. Alright, payroll warrants, December 19th, 2025, December 26th, 2025, and January 2nd, 2026, open for motion.
Make a motion to approve the payroll warrants for December 19, 2025, December 26, 2025, and January 2, 2026.
Second,
Been moved and seconded, any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, motion passes 5-0. Accounts payable warrants for December 23rd, 2025, December 30th, 2025, and January 6th, 2026, open for motion.
We need to go back after we've done
Go back to what?
the first one.
Okay, so still open for
Okay,
motion.
make a motion to approve the accounts payable warrants for December 23, 2025, December 30, 2025, and January 6, 2026.
second,
Been moved and seconded, any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. What's the
No,
line?
I also.
Okay. Approval of the minutes of December 16th, 2025. I go open for motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of December 16, 2025.
second,
Been moved and seconded, any questions, edits?
understand them.
All those in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
And Jackie's not with us tonight because she fell and is hurt.
Oh, no.
She's not feeling well, so she will be doing the minutes from YouTube.
All right, committee appointments, ordinance review.
Appoint Sherry Dunbar to the ordinance review committee.
Second,
Been moved and seconded, any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Appeal for David Sutter, open for motion.
I make a motion to appoint David Sutter to the appeals board.
second,
Been moved and seconded, any questions or discussion? I'm abstaining because I'm sort of related. It's a long story.
you're all related.
My non-sex husband, my husband's fault, it's, yeah, just figure I should. Alright, public hearing for waterfront fee is open for motion to open the public hearing.
I make a motion to open the public hearing for the waterfront fees discussion.
Second,
All those moved and seconded, any questions? All those in favor? We are open at 6:05 p.m. If there's anyone who'd like to speak to the waterfront fees. I will say I have a question, I don't know if anybody knows the answer, but for the commercial. For hire, commercial transporters hauling or launching boats. It has the current fee of $300, which I'm assuming is a one-time. And this one goes to $100 for launch or haul, isn't that a wildly huge increase?
It is, I've let the waterfront committee.
So, we think that we've just been grossly undercharged. Because it's a commercial service that people use, pay to have someone transfer their boat and launch it. And looking at like, if you were to go to a boat yard, you'd be paying, hundreds of dollars for that service.
So this is for a company to pay to haul a boat down here.
Yeah, so
To
they,
use our,
yeah, they use like
Right.
a semi truck or a large pickup and a hydraulic trailer to launch boat commercially.
and this is not for Joe Smith who pulls it up in his dually and backs it in.
Right, it'd just be for, commercial for hire vehicles, so it has like,
So it's not like a lobster fisherman.
correct.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought it was.
So was the thought process here just to bring us in line to what would normally?
Not just like the wear and tear from the use of like heavy equipment. And a lot of times they'll bring cranes down there and they'll put the mass up on sailboats and I think it's pretty impactful on our waterfront.
Understood, thank you.
And I would also point out, so
No, right, they're just sailing away.
Right.
Yeah,
I mostly was just
Back to your
confused
question,
about who it was though.
back to your question though, like, lobster fisherman is a commercial fisherman. They don't haul their own boats usually, I don't think, right?
No, and they would probably pay like a commercial hauler to haul their boats.
Yeah.
so they are gonna end up paying it one way or the other.
Yeah. If they haul their boat here at the ramp.
So this is my ignorance, but when we say hauling, is this just when you put it into the season and when you take it out for the end of the season, or is this every time you're going?
It would be every time you put the boat in and take it out.
So in theory, people are only doing that twice a year.
For anyone who's using a commercial hauler, yes, they're like the recreational. Hauling and launching where you have your own truck and trailer, lots of people do that like on a daily basis, claimers and. Recreational boaters, but for commercial hauling like hydraulic trailer, I think that. Everyone does that twice a year, they go in the spring, come out in the fall.
So then doesn't that make the fee actually less, the way we're changing it?
No, I believe that fee was for a commercial hauler, they could pay $300 and they could launch and haul as many boats as they wanted in the season. So a commercial
Oh,
hauler
so
could
now
do
this
100
time-
boats in the spring, 100 boats in the fall.
Okay, so now it's per boat, okay,
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here. So I have a question. Back up at the top, mooring fees, paper application, additional $20. But the reasoning, discourage burden on town resources.
So if you talk to like Kathleen or someone in the office, it's really difficult for them to take a paper application and process it through the town. Whereas if you go online and do it online, there's nothing that the town needs to do. So they really don't want people filing paper applications.
oh, so it's just the extra charge if you do it paper rather than
Paper,
online,
okay.
okay,
That I didn't get, okay,
that makes sense.
yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Make a motion, we come out.
Okay, public hearing.
Public hearing.
Yeah, one more thing, the off-season dockage, right now it's $100 for the year and we're going to 100 per month. How many people use the off-season?
Gotta be like 3 or 4 if you look down there right now.
Those are your skiffs.
There are lobster boats too.
There's a big lobster boat out there.
And we had the Virginia a couple of years.
Yeah,
that's-
its own
that's
separate
separate. Oh, okay.
deal, but it's more, I think we put language in there, so it's just gonna be for the people who. Have already signed up for the summertime commercial pier using the mast and boom. So it's already people who have their boats down there, they pay for the use of the commercial pier.
Okay.
Anything else?
So Bill made a motion,
Right,
I'll second it.
okay, all those in favor? We are out at 6:10 p.m. Do we need a motion to, yeah,
Yep.
anybody want to have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the
Waterfront
waterfront fees as set out.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Thanks again. Public comment. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on anything not on the agenda? Anyone online? Going once? Going twice. Okay. Unfinished business. So we have the, thank you ordinance review committee for getting to our request quickly. So you can see we have the recommended change regarding the term recent, so I'll read it for the record here. The bearings and distances of all property lines of the property to be developed. Information, the planning board may waive this requirement of a boundary survey when sufficient information is available to establish on the ground all property boundaries or when the proposed application does not involve external changes to the building. I thought that was a useful extra last
Question.
piece. Yeah,
If someone's just adding on a garage or a room, is that considered developed?
That's not a site plan,
well, that's
not
not
a
a
site
site plan
That would
application,
go to site.
it's not big enough.
That would be a C. Thing.
Okay.
Unless it was shoreline.
Yeah, those exceptions we mentioned.
There's even an exception in the shoreline for that, for like a home building, a garage.
All right, I'm open for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance review committee's recommendation to change Article 8, site plan review, section 8-6B, 7B, defining a time frame for the term recent. Actually excluding the time frame of recent.
Yeah, I feel like we need to change the.
I think we're
wording
gonna
here.
change that,
We
yes.
don't even have to talk about it's just the amended
Yes.
version, right?
The amended version as proposed. 2025 letter
And
and
the end of the sentence.
the end of the sentence. Oh,
Oh, you gotta put it on the town meeting.
in regard to the boundary survey, place the question on the annual town meeting warrant in June. Thank you.
Second. We get there eventually.
And seconded. Any further discussion? Alright, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
We got a little lost in there.
Yeah.
Is that
It's ordinances, you really got this.
Alright, proposal for installation of electric vehicle charging stations, so everybody hopefully get the additional info from Aaron, thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
Can we have a brief rundown from either the town manager or economic developer on what are the pros, what are the cons? I'd like both sides, please.
Sure. I think you start out. How this came to be, Dennis was emailed, by Revision Energy. They mostly do solar farms and things like that. And they gave us this proposal that's set forth right here. They expressed interest in having somebody install these EV charging stations in the village. They were really looking at the railroad. But since we don't own it, we can't lease it. I spoke to the state about it, Maine DOT. They got back to me and they explained that they don't, they do indeed own it and we can negotiate a lease on that. They said to us that if you're interested in it, having a charging station there, let us know. interest in it. The way these are, the way this is normally structured is that in many cases, we've had proposals in the past where the town actually applies for the grant through Efficiency Maine, when the town manages these, EV charging stations. That means that we own it, we operate it, and one of the things that that I thought was very advantageous about this, that we had really no skin in the game. The only skin in the game is 4 parking spots in the town that are I know in Heidemann, but that was the only, we had to provide 1,000 square feet of land to this company that will install and pay for the installation, maintain and operate these. The revenue, based on that. So, I have a copy of their agreement, their site host time agreement. They didn't fill in the amount that they would share. But I just got the agreement today and I will follow up on it if you guys decide to proceed forward, if you say proceed forward. So the pros on this really are, that I think in my earlier memo that I kind of talked a little bit about is how this will bring people into the village. And a lot of people that travel, that have these vehicles, have maps, there's websites set up, and they know where these things are. And they plan their routes based on these charging stations. In my memo today, I broke out, there's a couple different types of EV charging stations. This is, they call it a level 3. It's a DC current type system. That means it's a fast charger. Most of the ones that are in the area are level 2, and they're a bit slower, so they take a little bit longer for you to charge. And this would probably take about 35 to 40 to fully charge your car. What that means is that that person now, while they're get a lobster roll or something in the village, get a drink. Anyways, and I think that's the economic development side of things that I see out of this. That's the positive. I think the negative is that there is that skin in the game, meaning right now our parking is in such high demand, which is a good thing actually, right? When you really think about it. But this sort of lends a problem is that since we have that high demand, you really have a great place to put one of these or these 4 of these. So that's why we recommended to them up here, because of that. On Water Street would be an ideal location, or Middle Street. But the village location, I mean, because of the high demand of parking, and the lack of parking, so we have an issue of capacity, whether or not we have capacity for parking. And so that's sort of the sort of the skin in the game. I mean, this is the first time that I've seen something like this packaged. I mean, like this, you know, most of these that I see are, there is the town has some skin in the game, like the town will have to pay for the match or something. They're not asking for the match, you know, they're not asking the town for anything and sharing any of the cost. Which is really a good thing. And, you know, when I found out how much these things, the project would cost, you know, that floored me a little bit too. you know, I know we were having that discussion a little bit a while ago. You know, in reality, I think now that you mentioned it, you know, it does make sense why they're expensive. But, you know, they're talking about a private company willing to invest $1 million in our town. And that seems like a good thing, right? And I think. So, I mean, those are some of the things that, you know, that come to mind when I'm looking at this, and they are taxable. I spoke to an assessor today about this. So that we can get some additional revenues beyond the revenue sharing of the, you know, of this. So that's another positive, I guess. That in reading the agreement, I will check with the attorney if you guys say okay. But some of the things that could go into the agreement, likely the cost of the removal of the EV charging station at the end of the term at no cost to the town. If that's what the town so desires, you know, so, you know, we don't want to have to pay for the removal of it. The town might want to keep it and start collecting the revenue, right? They are gonna want the revenue to pay for the capital outlay, which makes sense, you know, if they're gonna invest $1 million. The efficiency gain issues these grants regularly, and they specifically target certain parts of the state. And doing my research on this a little bit today and over the last couple of days, looking at the maps, there's only the nearest level 3 charging stations are in Rockland and in Brunswick and Thompson. And so
Wiscasset Ford,
those are level 2. I'm just telling, there's a difference, but so there's level 2 charging stations that are, and they take longer. So in other words, those could take like a couple hours to charge of your car fully. There's like you said, Bill, the nearest ones are Chewonki and Wiscasset Ford. There's some in Damascata. I made a list in the memo that I issued out today, where all the charging stations are in the county. So
So in terms of, a number of my concerns deal with the closure of them eventually. One being, I don't think I would support anything that didn't require someone else to take on the costs and responsibility of the removal. We don't want that responsibility, at least from my
Absolutely.
perspective. The other big thing was, I know you said term of commitment, and you said that a third party would require at least a 10-year commitment. That does make me a little nervous for 2 reasons. One, I feel like EV technology and technology in general is changing so fast, who knows? But 10 years is a long time in terms of where technology is gonna be. But more importantly, we don't know what's gonna happen to this building in 10 years in terms of, depending on water treatment plants and all kinds of other things. A municipal building could be somewhere else, this could be something different, like, I just feel. I'm concerned that we would be locked into something for 10 years and not be able to remove it, even if
I actually.
we got rid of this building.
Yeah, no, I mean, today I just got from the architect, our facilities needs assessment.
we got the other companies too, the EVs are, the companies are backing away from EVs and going to the hybrids. Ford Motor Company just took a 19.7 billion write-off for plant they're gonna build for EV pickup trucks, and they're gonna close that before they even open it. They're closing it, and they're gonna make the truck somewhere else, but they're gonna make the hybrids. And, for General Motors has cut way back on EV, marketing, or looking at what they're gonna do. And I will also, we're gonna put 4 of these in this parking lot.
Yeah, that's their proposal. I asked if they would
We don't
consider
have
less.
enough room there now in times, and you're gonna have, four of those here, and, the fire department has their open house. In October, it takes up the whole parking lot.
Yeah,
Did you say you asked them?
if they would consider less, and they said that they wouldn't get their return on their investment and or whatever, it's just, or it was their sweet spot.
Why don't they go to, Shaw's? They've been making contracts with the state for putting one on 95 rather. And also with Marketplace across the street, they have a lot of free parking there.
That's an email that's being planned, to them. I spoke to the current owner of the Wisconsin Marketplace. They've been interested in this, an EV charging station. I have given them in the past an earlier grant round. They never took advantage of it. I spoke to the Revision Energy people that bundle this project for us. And I told them that I would send it, if you're okay with it, to, the Wisconsin Marketplace. I did speak to another business owner in town. I won't mention the name, but, he was asked opportunity to, I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. So I do plan on reaching out to Shaw's and, the Wisconsin Marketplace. I looked at it only because I was asked to look at it, is I saw this as a thought. There is a fair to decent, to the town. And the town could benefit from it. I understand the parking concern issue, particularly in light of the need for a new public safety building or town office. I totally get that. And the need for more parking in the village, I totally get that too.
So my other two things are, maintenance of the actual charging stations. I know it says on here. They would be taking care. I won't. Town, but the nearby town where their EV chargers are constantly down, basically every time we go by. And so I don't want us to do this and then they're not usable and then people don't use them because they're not.
Massachusetts Turnpike, they had them at all of the service stations, and at one point, only one of the chargers were working the whole thing. It took a year, they didn't have any, finally had to rip them all out and bring another company in. They wouldn't fix them or couldn't fix them.
And my other thing is,
Dennis doesn't need someone complaining that something that we don't own is having a problem. There's enough stuff like that.
and then that kind of just dovetail with usage, like I would love to know. And I'm not saying you need to go get this information, but like I would love to know how much the ones in Damascus are used. Cause anecdotally, every time I go by, there's never anyone plugged in.
I believe those are, if I looked, those are level 2, but I believe the town owns those, so,
They just put.
I believe that's correct.
yeah, so
So.
that's the difference.
It's been over a year now, I think. They had them all last summer.
I know,
Cause I just. I'm not against them, I just want them to be used, given that parking, as we're all aware, is one of the number one things we hear people complain about. And I don't wanna have 4 spots that are blocked and not in use at all, because they're EV spots. Cause I've just run into that in other towns when those are the only ones open, and it's just very frustrating.
the LOV, they got 4 or 5 or 6 of them. And there's either nobody there or there's a Tesla parked there that's not being charged, they're using it as a parking lot.
The answer level 2. All the ones that being the level 2, people drive right. And I was talk. Yeah. We're pretty casual.
Eric,
And do they have to go all on the same location?
Yeah, there's basically I had asked that,
Yeah.
there's like a unit probably about the size of a fridge. That, it's like the mothership, I guess, and then there's the 4 ports, one in front of each, and. That mothership or whatever unit is the costly
Oh,
unit,
so it's a bank of,
yeah,
yeah, it's a.
and so,
Sorry,
oh, go ahead.
I've never had to plug one in, so I don't know, is there, like, they have another
Oh, no, there'd be a fee,
a fee,
yeah.
and do we have
Fee
any?
membership.
Okay, and do we have any sense of how that fee compares to other similar ones in the area? In other words, is somebody gonna go to Damascotta, even though it's a slower charger, it's right in the middle of their downtown, but it's cheaper?
I don't,
Is what I'm
I don't
getting at.
have a fix on the market, but I imagine these companies, know the market and. They're gonna wanna use them, the,
I think people
yeah.
that they want faster is better, so they're
yeah,
willing
I
to
mean,
pay
the
for
thing
it.
that.
You pay extra.
Yeah, I mean, the,
What you're trying to do.
yeah.
Oh. So I guess, personally, I'm open to it with the major caveat that I am concerned about a 10-year term and whether there's a possibility for something shorter, so we can be able to evaluate less than 10 years into the future, / if things change for us.
And is
That
that,
would-
there's 2 sources of income from this, or 2, or is it 3? Because there's the cost they would pay for a rental for leasing the property they're sitting on.
Yeah.
There's a revenue share. And what, I thought that you said
No,
something else?
so it's just those lease costs, the pay for the site, and that would be a revenue sharing arrangement, like maybe 5 or 10%.
Oh, the revenue share would be the lease.
Yeah, and then the property tax.
And then the
Oh,
tax.
yeah, that's,
Well, if you got a place like Marketplace, they got. paid
Yeah,
for
I mean, yeah.
years and years.
I wouldn't mind losing the parking spots if it was a
Fixed amount.
enough of an income for the
Well,
town, but.
we could probably ask that, I mean, that is a fair
Yeah.
arrangement, that's not the way this is proposed currently,
Right.
but, that is an option. that we
Yeah,
can-
I mean, can we ask that?
Yeah.
Can we
I
find
mean,
that out?
I'd be more interested in that if they were going to pay us an actual set price lease on that property plus revenue share, cause.
Well, you're not gonna get both,
Well, one or the other, but
Yeah.
I'd rather know that we're getting this much money instead of, this month we get $20, next month we get $500 in the.
Opposed to it coming in this parking lot, period.
Yeah,
So I have a question about,
where else? can
you
it go?
mentioned 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
That's what
That's very large.
that's what the lease says.
And it can't go on railroad.
So-
Wait, sorry, we've gotta be able to hear it.
I just cited what the lease is, this is a draft lease, and it can be redlined and everything, okay, I just got it today. I haven't read through it completely. Like with a nitpick, but it did say approximately up to 1,000 square feet of space. I'm kicking myself right. The guy that was packaging it up for us, he was saying that they need room, they just need 4 parking spaces, that's what they need, and then. Room for this, like refrigerator type and so forth, so I can make inquiries about that. The reason why, obviously, the way this is originally, the term of this is 5, because the grant requires that, right? Because they, at the state,
Spaces?
no.
5 years.
5 years.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. The grant requires that, because if the state's making this investment, they wanna see it
Yeah.
be used. So then the way it's written here, and I need to read it again more closely, but it automatically renews one more time. That's why you get the 10 years.
But we would have the option to
I
not renew.
have to read that. And,
Yeah. So that would be my thing, like, obviously, that's great. Well, it's being used, whatever, then yeah, sure, renew, but if it's not, or we're moving buildings or whatever. That would be my
Yeah.
thing. I would actually not be in favor of it. Go further down, I can hear the uproar now,
No,
because
I
those
know, I'm
lots are
just
just
trying to think.
packed all the time.
No, I know, I'm just trying to think if there's anywhere else other than right here. I mean, you wouldn't wanna go out on 27 out by the old, community center building or into the community center that's current or something like that. I mean, that's
That's
a
what-
ways out of town, but if people are coming here to charge their cars, and part of the draw is that they're gonna walk around downtown
You
and
can't really
shop,
go
well, that's not
further.
gonna happen from the community
It's not
center.
gonna happen from here too. What are they gonna get, a sandwich or a haircut?
Don't know.
They can
Well,
still
I mean,
walk down
they
from
can
here.
walk from here.
I just wish it wasn't four, cause I just don't see it
Yeah.
realistically having four people all at the same time charging.
I agree, but if,
I don't know, because the people I know that do have electric cars, they, as Erin says, they have a map on where these things are. They plan their trips on where you
Yeah.
can plug in.
It's quite a few of
And
them
move
around.
on. They know where every single one of them is, which ones are faster, what they charge in each different station.
the ones in Bath, if you do the research, it's in my memo, but they're all the level 2. The closest ones, like I said, are in Brunswick and Thompson, the level 3. And that's why when they issued this notice of, this funding opportunity, they targeted certain regions that didn't have them. And so that's why they targeted the Wiscasset, Damascotta area on Route 1. And so that was the rationale, because they know there's this gap here
I
so.
think we need a couple more answers to some of the questions we've asked, I guess,
Yeah,
before we could really.
yeah, the term of the contract and the closure piece.
And we have put a,
Well, I didn't really expect to get a decision out of this tonight. What I wanted out of this tonight was a consensus that you wanted to move forward with this, because I don't want him wasting his time, and I'm paying an attorney to look at the lease. You guys have no interest in this whatsoever.
I mean, tomorrow, if you're okay with it, I mean, I can ask the actual company that will pay for this in Universal ED. You know, if they would consider just doing 2 spots. I mean, I was only talking with Revision Energy, but now that I have an agreement.
Or do
Yeah.
they have information that shows that 4 spots is actually quite reasonable and was not excessive, because you don't wanna give up 4 spots.
Right, if somebody has some data that says, yeah,
Right, that you
you're
have,
gonna be full all summer.
The other thing would be, what would they estimate or even guesstimate, the annual income for the town from this project? You know, what would we be being recompensed for the loss of those parking spots?
and are they willing to consider a revenue share versus a combination of revenue share and a fixed lease? So lower fixed lease, but with a
But we're
smaller
guaranteed,
revenue share, right?
Right. So,
Eric?
May I ask a few questions? Do you want me to join here?
No, that's a good question.
Do we know how many parking spots you have downtown between on-street parking and commercial?
Yeah, Aaron listed them out.
65, I think it is.
Let's see, 20,
45,
42.
You have a copy of this?
I haven't.
67.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
None of that, this is from tonight, right here.
Yeah,
8%, yes.
I know we just at 35 when we changed the gone home.
But I think that the point of my question is that I wouldn't see these as lost parking spots. I think they're being talked about as like giving them up. Nobody's gonna get to use them. I see them as a pretty big public asset.
What, so when you put in an EV unit,
Yeah.
The only thing that can park there is an electric vehicle.
That's why I'm
While
talking
you're
about it
charging.
as a spot.
While
That's
it's
why there's
charging,
some sort
only,
of
only while
assurance.
it's charging.
It's 147 based on.
What if it's 35 to 36 when we
Yeah.
get downtown?
So if it's an electric vehicle and they're not plugged in and charging, it's supposed to move along.
Ma'am,
I'm Katie Dupont. In the village,
147,
so you have 147 that earn $0,
what this is.
and you might be bringing in 4 that earn some money, right? We don't charge any parking fees. So how is it running out? Because that even if this cabinet only makes $100 a month, you have 143 that are making $0.
And in the summertime, all of those spaces are taken.
Well, that's not completely accurate. I live on Summer Street. Summer Street's packed is on the Thursday night activities like that. There's a lot of parking in Wiscasset that isn't used every day all summer long. I mean, not to be.
I'm talking about designated parking areas.
Well. But there's still a lot of parking in the village that isn't used.
So I think we're at least interested in getting some
More
answers
information, yeah,
on what Lisa just,
When's our next meeting? I just wanted,
2 weeks.
yeah, we will be gone.
no,
So the 20th,
okay,
You're gonna attend online or you're gonna be in transit?
I will be in the air.
I am not even think about it.
You know, I don't think about it, but I said last time,
I said no.
I'm crushed.
I will zoom in if we're in between airports, but I won't be running.
I'm gonna do what I owe you.
I think it's an interesting concept. I think that it provides a valuable service. I certainly agree that we have a need to encourage people to get out of their car and walk around, and this would accomplish that. I think that's very important. And, well, of course, I have an electric car, so, you know.
I just had this one little statistic that I got today, for the main office of tourism. And I did some, what they call traffic-based visitor modeling. So we have an annual, the average annual, daily traffic count, for Wiscasset on Route 1 is about 25,000 cars. Okay. Um, So we just use a basic low number, right? 5% of the vehicles stop in the village based on that 25,000 is about 1,250 vehicles, right? That would be stopping per day. And then they're saying the average party size is about 2.4. I don't know how you come up with 2.4, but whatever. 2.4 is the average party size. So times the 1,250, it's about 3,000 visitors per day. And then they're saying the average spend per day per visitor is about $67. So you look at that, $67 per day on the, about 5%, you're looking at about $201,000 spent per day per visitors. So, I mean, that's a sizable kind of money. And you think about it from the EV charging standpoint, you could use that on that basis. You could look at, okay, well, for each visit, that whoever uses that charging station probably could spend up to $67. We're not saying it, they couldn't, but they could.
Mhm.
And then on top of it, there's revenue being generated by the machine that would be shared by the town, but the local business owners would get the $67, So that's where I thought was intriguing.
No,
So I would be open to it if we can maybe get a set fee, basically, we have an assurance that we do nothing with the closure of it whenever that happens, we have nothing to do with that. And hopefully there's some wiggle room in terms of 5 and 10 years, so we can reevaluate. Yeah.
The only little snafu and just tell me. Is that grant opportunity ends on January 20th. That's our next meeting, and it's at noon. So,
Our next meeting is, the ninth.
January 20th.
Oh, I thought,
EVs are only 1.5% of.
I can,
maybe
Not mass and
see what's on the agenda.
It doesn't count summer heating.
yeah,
Is there, at least some sort of a bond that would be, we do a 5-year lease and this company goes bankrupt in 3 years and then even though they're responsible for removing it, I had a fire truck out here that was guaranteed for life. And that didn't work out.
I would want a performance bond.
yeah, I would agree. I don't see it in here. And talking to Barry from Revision Energy, he said that to deal with the post-closure issue, that we can require them, like we were just talking about, have them pay for it, and we might use some language about providing a bond. Let me call the people. Unfortunately, I just got the agreement today. I've been asking for it, and I haven't read through it with a fine tooth comb. But that they do indemnify us, we're not liable if there's any damage to the equipment. They provide us with insurance, things like that. I'll look into this a little bit more closely, see if there's any severability. That if, for example, like at the town office, we decide to build a new town office like tomorrow. I'm not saying that we would build it, that we could get out of it.
Or move it.
Move it, yeah. That's probably what they would guarantee. If we can give them a guarantee that if we did enter into it, and if we decided to move in 5 years, to another location, they might be okay with that.
What's the difference? If this building will still be here for EMS and fire and police.
well, my point was in 10 years, we could be in a totally different situation in terms of, we've talked about this building being used for something else or completely redone or whatever. So I'm just saying we need.
At the proposal from the architect, she mentioned that actually, wasn't it, putting the fire station at downtown?
Adding onto the side of the building.
Yeah, so.
Was it Katie?
Sorry, and I don't know if this is helpful to anyone, but, and you probably know this because you guys have been on this castle longer than me. We have Revision come to our house to do a solar review. They put the original solar fields in here in Miscasset several years ago. They're building another solar field. I don't think there's a risk of I'm not an economist, but there's a real risk of them going out of business. They seem to be, they were the most respectable when we did our research on the solar rooftop property.
My understanding too is that they're the ones that are gonna end up maintaining it, meaning that universal EV, that's why they're kind of packaging in the South Forest. They stand to benefit, they're probably gonna be the ones installing it, for this universal EV. So.
So we need a plan in terms of timing. It sounds like 2 weeks, if we went forward would be impossible, correct?
Yeah.
Why did they approach us with something that had such a short answer period?
We
I'm
found out about
I'm a
it,
little peeved.
I found out
at that.
about it in November. And I started making inquiries in December and then the holidays and, that's kind of where we're at this point. So.
I don't like feeling pushed on something.
but
Can
we-
you check with the grant and see if they have an extension available?
I just don't see them giving us an extension. But
Cause the problem is I don't even feel good doing a conditional motion right now because we have multiple things we wanna see.
Yeah, there's too many questions.
Like if it was just one thing that we wanted added and we say, okay, if they add that, then we move forward, then I would be comfortable making a motion to do that, but, so therefore.
What if we. Let me talk to them tomorrow, but we could maybe just. You can just authorize a letter of support, but, that doesn't mean that we're signing the host town agreement. So in other words, that, the letter of support would just go in with the application, saying that express a letter of interest. Do you know what I mean?
I like
Yeah,
the
well,
word
actually,
letter
so
of
that's-
Get the
interest.
So
grant.
that's a question actually, and I'm sorry if I missed it, so in terms of the grant itself, if we were to say yes tonight. Is the process that we sign on at that point, or is the whole contract and all of that after?
Well, I see them as
Yeah.
two separate things, you know, you're not, if you're. I see them as two separate things, you know, if you're just saying that you are gonna express interest and we're just gonna apply for this money, that's one thing, but, in other words, if we get it and you guys don't get the answers that you want, right? Then we can deny, you know, we could turn back.
So in other words, we're not locked in even if they go and get the grant.
Yeah,
Wait, you saying we apply for
Who's
this?
getting?
well, we're not applying it, it's the.
If they apply
But
for
they
the project,
want a letter of support from us, you know, in other words, saying that we're.
So that's all they're
That's
asking for right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm
I
trying to
think a
give you
letter of
everything.
interest.
Yeah.
I think it's,
Yeah.
I think a letter of interest shows that exactly that, we have interest in it, but we're not going to support this completely until we have more information.
Which frankly, I would hope they'd understand if we don't actually have a contract yet.
I don't know, if you just differentiate between a letter of interest and a letter of support, I mean, two different things. I mean, having an interest in it doesn't necessarily mean you support it. Or I'm not sure if that would have the same. Effect.
Are we at a point where we can support it right now?
But, you know, we could just turn this down and just, you know, put it in the file folder, and if there's another opportunity, you know, we can look at it again. I can get back to you though, with some of the answers, you know, but if there's another opportunity. It seems like the state is interested in funding these opportunities in this area because there isn't any level 3 charging stations. And they're trying to fill that gap. I know Dan Scott is interested in this, so, they might get it, but that's fine too.
Or, and don't throw things at me, but if we get an answer back that, yeah, to. All the things that we're asking and they're what we'd like, then we schedule another meeting before the 20th. Have one last discussion and approve it, or if they come back and say, no, then I'm not sure we are in support of it. And we'll let it go by until next time.
Yeah, I don't wanna force your hand, I don't want you guys to feel uncomfortable, I'm just trying to relay information that I was asked to get, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yep.
give it to you, I was a little disappointed that I had to bug them today, Revision Energy, you know, about whether or not, there was still any interest, in this universal EV, company that, when he first proposed it to me, he said that he had 2 companies interested potentially, but he hadn't got confirmation yet, and he finally got confirmation today. And so that's why I didn't get the agreement until today. Or what's the deal? So, I mean, now I have an agreement that I can look at closely and ask some questions. I don't know about the data usage. I mean, I went to
I don't think, I actually tried to do some homework on my own today, and I don't think they're collecting quite that level, or at least not putting it out there.
Yeah.
Quite the level of detail that I was looking for, so.
I
That
mean,
was the rec center scratch from the list.
So, I think I wrote the memo.
One of the far-
You can far away.
Downtown there.
Yeah, well, no, it was because it was 1,000 feet, so the RFP requires that these things be within 1,000 feet of the,
Route 1.
yeah, the Route 1 corridor. Cause I also mentioned potentially the airport, so, and they have to, all the other parties said they have to be, close to 3-phase power,
Close to what?
3-phase power.
You need a major line.
Oh.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand what you said.
But for us, to me, the whole advantage is getting them out of the car for 45 minutes.
Walking around the shops.
To go to the bookstore, to go to Panacea, to, you know, whatever it is that they wanna do, right? To me, that's.
To go buy a broom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, for
Keep
sure.
it apart, right, keep partly. No, all of those little things is to me the important thing about something like this.
Yeah, and my biggest thing is basically protecting us, and we have unfortunately a history of having to deal with things that are left. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get
So
it,
we
yeah.
definitely need a performance bond.
Yep.
That will sit there
I
to
don't-
cover those costs.
I don't know if I'm too concerned with decommissioning, because if they leave it, these things are worth like $250,000 a piece. Like, couldn't we just sell them off in 5
Well,
years?
Technology may have changed sufficiently, and we're just left with the. It's always good to have a performance bond.
Yeah,
5 years from now, there'll be junk.
Eric,
Yeah, I'll just say one set of thoughts. It sounds like you all have a lot to consider that I don't have to think about, but, my perspective, Eric McIntyre, I own a business in town and a 50-year business there, and, my perspective, talking with customers in my shop a couple days a week, every week, is that I think EV chargers would be a pretty big benefit to town. Only 1.5% of the cars in the state, but that's still a lot of cars. I mean, a lot of cars coming from out of state. I think we capture some of those visitors in town and have them see. Congrats to these streets. I think it's a big loss of opportunity, whether for this grant proposal or a future one. I think it's a big lost opportunity to put them this far outside the village, I think. Locating them
I'm
downtown.
thinking, I wish it could be like in the downtown parking lot off Water Street or
Yeah,
something.
across from the doctor's office.
The Pendleton's parking lot on the
Yeah.
side.
And
there.
I know-
I will point out.
Gary, that's so much.
Despite the fact that you have supposedly reserved for EV. As an EV driver, I promise you that half the time it's taken up by a diesel truck. Right, I mean, I promise, you know, nobody respects it, can be aggravating when you're just about out of power,
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know the feedback that you all get in the town office here about parking. The feedback that I get as a store owner is a story about parking that's not actually true. People don't understand where the parking is, so I think we have much more have a signage problem than we do a parking problem,
Right.
is my perspective as a business owner.
Yeah, I don't actually
But-
agree
sounds like there's-
necessarily
there's
there's donut
feedback.
parking, but that's what
Yeah.
we hear every day.
Yeah. But I don't think it's because of an actual lack of parking, which is what I don't think losing 4 parking spots to EV chargers is the real issue. I just think we should pair it with better parking signage. Thanks very much.
I agree.
We haven't put out sandwich boards even in the parking for the side streets and stuff.
James?
I also want, like, 4 does seem like a lot, cause it's kind of counterintuitive to have fast chargers and need 4 of them. But also, I wonder if they'd be open to having 2 of them permanent. And like, if parking is full, we could use that lease space for parking still. So like 2 permanent EVs and then 2 optional if needed, if the parking is full.
We can ask
I don't
that.
even know how you begin to police it though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in my experience.
I mean, it's on our system, but-
It's on our system.
Yeah, in my head, that's what I wanted to do, and then I was like, I don't know how you'd ever.
Just have 2 EV spots
But I
EV
think,
spots and then 2 of them would have an EV charger, but not necessarily an EV.
I think Alyssa's right, though, is that it's an honor system, nobody's gonna go around and ticket somebody who's parked in an EV parking spot.
So if we sell it that way, it's like less of a hit on parking. There's 2 spots that we're giving up rather than 4.
Right, please
So-
leave these open, you can
Yeah,
use
yeah.
these two. If these 2 are full, then maybe you don't park in the other 2 too.
That'd be part of like the agreement though.
It's worth asking.
It's worth asking, but is somebody,
Yeah.
you know, they're gonna look at this as lost revenue and say, well, there's 2 spots that are gonna be taken up 50% of the time, that we're not gonna get any revenue out.
But they should be calculating that already.
Right,
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
So one of the things that they were actually originally talking about. Potential. Water Street. There was a really good location that he thought that the Haggard garage site,
Right,
where you can put that bigger unit, like I was telling you, like the fridge type thing in the corner. And then there would be 2 on each side like that. So if that's where one of the things that he was thinking about, where you wouldn't need 5 spots. And then up here, you know,
Although-
there's a nice grass lawn that you can put it, but.
yeah, that corner though isn't an actual spot.
That Haggard
No,
lot,
no, I know.
You can't park
it's just
there.
a dead
Yeah,
corner.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
that
what I mean.
Haggard lot is full most of the time with people going to the medical place and the
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
They go get a haircut, sometimes they have to park a block away.
yeah, depends on the time of day.
Alright, so where are we in terms of? Aaron's got quite a list of
And it's got a
things.
list of questions.
I think these really could be,
Okay,
wrapped up quickly with a conversation with this universal EV people. I have a contact information.
okay, because we would just need to schedule a meeting, because it's unfortunately not something we could vote on.
Fine.
It's not too in depth. Okay, so are we, do we wanna?
I'm open next Tuesday. I just checked.
Yeah, I can move. What I have
I
on.
can be here if I have to. Yeah, 95.
That's the 13th.
Yeah, you have something, but. That's all right.
We don't care about him.
Whoa.
He doesn't care about us when he's on vacation.
That's right, there you go.
The, just one little stat I did get, from the Recharge Lane website. EVs on the road for the zip code 04578, you know, Wiscasset, Westport Island, I guess. There's 84 people that have them registered in that,
In Wisconsin, Westport,
Yeah,
so.
so.
and I just wanna say, I know we've said this, but I wanna say it again for the record. Whether you're for or against this proposal does not cost the town anything, because there are people saying comments on the Wisconsin newspaper site, even though Susan, I know you said it right, are saying that this is taxpayer money in Wisconsin, and it is not, so
There's no-
please stop saying that, people online.
Well, that's the only reason why I thought this was interesting, because that there is no.
I think it'll be revenue.
So we're gonna have a tentative meeting for the 13th in case we need to come in, and the only item on the agenda will be this one item.
Yeah.
Come in, vote, and move on.
And the vote would be for a letter of support.
Correct, if that's what we decided.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Does that work for, does 13th work for everybody? Is that
Yeah.
available?
Especially for that quick.
So you have your whole list of questions that you can fire. upon.
I have a.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, so if you wanna get those to us and then
I get
send out via email so that if there are any other questions that come up, we can get them to you before the meeting.
Okay, it will depend on if I can get a hold of that woman, but I mean, like I said, I'll. Reach out to her tomorrow.
Sure.
So the questions are basically, you wanna get kind of an idea about what the annual revenue cost is. Whether or not we can do a fixed versus a revenue share.
Or a combination.
Combination, yeah. Could we do, a mixture of units, 2 units, 4 units, 2 units? Two different locations, 2 units, plus 2 options. Some sort of, if there's any language in there about severability clause.
Yeah.
Like, so if for some reason, like, we
We
can
need
build
to
it,
get out.
yeah, we need to get out, we can. And then the post-closure thing, a performance bond. Would they be okay with that kind of language?
And generally, the 5 versus 10 years. In other words, is 10 going to be the only option?
Or,
And if,
Particularly if the answer to the severability is you won't have any options on that.
well, and if it's continuing for another 5 years, is that by mutual agreement? Is
Yeah.
it, is there some sort of trigger that automatically makes it move forward? What's the information around that?
Is there a remuneration change?
Right,
Halfway through.
Oh,
Inflation,
yeah.
we have inflation rate?
I can get really into all that.
I'm all about the money. Money.
What's about the money?
I mean, remember too, that they are making an investment, so they need to get a return on it, but I understand,
Right.
yeah, so. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you for coming.
All right.
Where are we? Oh, I love the.
We are down to new business license for treats at 8 Main Street. They have new owners. Open for a motion.
I lost my page.
If you get, you know.
I make motion to approve the board license application for treats located at 80 Main Street.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 5-0. There was no town manager's report. Anything you wanna add?
Yes, as I already alluded to, I will not be at your next meeting.
Well, you might be now.
Well,
Well,
next regularly scheduled meeting, I will be out of the country. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking about you while I'm gone.
I am so insulted.
We'll send
And we did get the final. I don't think I had the chance to look at it, but we'll get it distributed so you all can get a look at it because it may have some bearing on what you do here in terms of charging stations. And yes, we are working very hard on getting the budget done. Department heads are getting their requests into me this week and we'll meet next week and I'll try to get you some preliminary numbers before I leave for vacation, so you have a chance to mull things over so that when we get back, we can get into the weeds.
Get all
Yeah, I-
being done before you're back from vacation.
I forgot what dates you said, but I'm gonna be going the 15th to the 22nd February. That sounds like budget season.
February,
Yeah,
It's what season?
budget season.
Oh,
yes, I think there was one date in there, like this.
Yeah.
But that's very early in the process, so.
Alright,
Right,
make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all those in favor? We are adjourned at 7:08. Thank you.
Oh, we haven't signed?